So our little tagline, when we say, well, who are you and what do you do? Why are you here? Is we promote transparency, integrity, and accountability in government, politics, and the law. That's what our mission is. We're headquartered in Washington, D.C. We have a small office in Miami, Florida, and a small office in San Marino, California, which is outside Los Angeles. Those offices basically provide us with a presence in those communities, but also a place to work from. There's some advantages to, here we are, here's our website. You see that election integrity project, that's a huge effort of ours because voter rolls around the country are a mess. They are a wreck. And there's all sorts of conditions that are ripe for voter fraud. And voter fraud, when I say voter fraud, it opens up a whole can of worms when I talk about the Obama administration because of their incredibly close links with ACORN and ACORN's organization, Project Vote. It isn't just hot air or hollow political rhetoric. 70-some-odd people pled guilty in 12 different states to voter registration fraud in connection with Project Vote and ACORN. So state attorneys general didn't prosecute people for fun. It wasn't like they didn't have anything else to do. They did it because there are egregious actions on the part of Project Vote, ACORN, and their successor agencies or organizations in efforts to undermine the election. Why would they do that? Let me give you the technique first, one of the techniques, and you'll see why they do it. This is all Alinskyite. This is Saul Alinsky mentality on how they do this. They know that Howard County, I don't know the details on this, I'm just making it up. Howard County Board of Elections consists of 6 people. It might be 15, I don't know what it is, but just for the sake of argument. In a smaller county, let's say in a rural environment, in the middle of nowhere, Arizona or Iowa, let's say it's 6 people. They go out and they drum up and they get a whole bunch of voter registration applications. And 4 days before the cutoff for registration, they walk into the voter registration office and they drop 50,000 voter registration forms on a staff of 6. Can they process? No. Why? Because they want to break the system. They want to break the system. Because when they break the system, they undermine voter confidence, they create confusion, they create conflict, finger-pointing, accusations, grounds for litigation. You throw the election, which should be a normal, regular, routine, reliable process, you throw it into a state of confusion. And it's done deliberately. It's an effort to undermine the system and break the system. Much like Obamacare. Is Obamacare really about delivering high-quality health care to Americans? No. It's an effort to break the healthcare system. Why? Because once it's broken, we'll have to nationalize it. There's no other. We tried to reform it. We did our best. And look what happened. It just blew up. So now everyone has to be on Medicare, essentially. That's what the idea is, to break the system, right? And create confusion and undermine confidence in the normal routine processes of what goes on. So when you do that, when you break the system, you create turmoil. It's corrosive, right? It shreds the fabric of our laws and our Constitution. And that's what these people are all about. That's what they do. I'm not guessing. I'm not speculating. It's documented. It's just documented fact. So, in cases such as the Holder Justice Department and how they do or do not enforce laws erratically, or in cases like voter fraud and free and fair elections, or in cases like organizations like ACORN, these are all huge issues. These all touch on those things. And when you leave here today, you scoop up a bunch of these, you'll have all the ammunition you need. There's a ton of reading in there, and it's I think it's very informative. It's a huge part of what we do. So, we promote transparency, integrity, and accountability in government, politics, and the law. How do we do it? Well, we do investigative and research work. That's what I do. I have staff of folks working for me. I'm very fortunate. I have a former DEA intelligence officer. I have an attorney, non-practicing attorney. I jokingly say I have 2 attorneys working for me who don't practice law. I say they're recovering attorneys. One of whom is a former Marine Corps JAG officer for 30 years and has done everything under the sun, from prosecute, homicide down to administrative law and how regulations are, So he's done soup to nuts. He's got the full spectrum of experience and 30-plus years to do it. I have another young lady who's a reporter for the Associated Press, the Miami Herald and Kansas City Star. So she has a legal background and a news or media background as a reporter, so she's very well qualified in that regard. We have a very well-staffed FOIA, Freedom of Information Act section. Guys who do nothing but file Public Records Act requests. They drill down and get documents. There's a beautiful thing about records and documents. People lie, records don't. So when you present a record or a document to somebody and say, here, this is what happened or what transpired, or here's the email that proves a certain thing, or here's Nancy Pelosi's bar tab for one flight across the Atlantic from the Bowling Air Force Base shopped at, totaling $560. The response from her office was the speaker doesn't drink. That's fine, she can not drink, but her staff certainly does. And that $560 in bar tab, you paid for it. Is that the best use of taxpayer dollars? I don't think so. So the beauty of getting records and documents is that they're not our records or documents, they're government records and documents, right? And lawyers love to say, and I'm not a lawyer, thank goodness, lawyers love to say, res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. So even if you don't agree with me and my analysis or my opinion or my evaluation, fine. Read the document for yourself and make your own decision, which is the beauty of what we do, because we educate the public about the operations of government and what the government is or is not doing for you. So even if you don't like me or don't like Judicial Watch, whatever, look at it yourself and figure it out. And a lot of the stuff we get is so egregious, believe me, it does speak for itself. So we do investigations. We do this documentary kind of stuff. We get tons and tons of public records. The other thing we do is we actually put people on the ground. We fly out to places and find people and interview them. If we have to, we can take a statement. We can put them under oath and take a declaration from them on a particular topic. So we investigate things. We show up and we do stuff. There's lots of people in Washington, D.C., and I'm not knocking them. They write articles about stuff, and they research stuff, and they have opinions, and that's fine. That's good stuff. We go out and find people, and get documents, and interview people. And then, if it merits it, we go and we sue public officials, or agencies, or governments. So I think that's really our value added. That is what makes us a little bit different. There's tons of people who have opinions, they have think tanks, and they write policy papers, and they hold seminars. It's all good. We do all that too, and we sue people. And I think that that's really that extra plus that we bring kind of to the fight. So in doing that, we have a legal department. And we have attorneys on staff. We do like 99% of our own legal work in-house. We don't farm stuff out to anybody. It's our attorneys, our staff. We do it where we are. If we need to get waived in someplace where we don't have a bar member, we do that. But we have some very sharp, very competent, capable attorneys. We also have a media department that tries to get our word out and helps develop. This is a complete redo of our website. Anybody who knows our old work would have seen our old website, and it was okay, but this, frankly, is much friendlier, and there's a lot more information on it. We have a fundraising department, obviously. This doesn't happen all by magic. For those of you that are curious, I'm happy to discuss how we're organized and how we raise money. 99% of our money comes from mom and pop donations. That's you. We don't get money from any big government anything at all. We take no government money other than money that we win in court. We get paid our attorney's fees when we win in court. But there's no government grants. We're not Acorn. We're not standing around filing forms to get millions of dollars. It's from mom and pop donations around the country. There's about 400,000 people around the country that support our work. And we're very, very grateful for it, because that allows us to put out stuff like this. And we just show up here and talk to you about what we do and how we do it. And we have, like anybody else would have, we have an administrative and logistic section that takes care of paying the bills, keeping the lights on, and paying, health insurance and taxes and all that jazz. So our president is Tom Fitton. That's his sort of glowering face there. It looks very angry in that picture. Paula Finides is our head litigator, and myself. The three of us are the management of the organization, total of about 30-some people.